So the easiest one, the first one that I always show to people is called the emergency stop. And the way it works is you can do it anywhere. So you don't have to sit down for 10-15 minutes. I mean, that's good, that's great, fab. But that can be a bit intimidating to some people. They think it's too much, it's overwhelming, or they don't want to be alone with their thoughts for that amount of time. So what we're doing is, the emergency stop you could do anywhere. And you say the first thing you do is you catch yourself and you say, stop. And it's not stop what you're thinking or feeling, it's stop what you're doing. Yeah? Yeah. So it's, be still, stop. If you're in the middle of Tesco's or in the middle of the library, then say it internally. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then you're kind of saying, I'm not going anywhere until I've done 6 breaths.
Okay.
Now this is the thing, it takes discipline, because after about 2 breaths, your nervous system's going, yeah, can I go now? Yeah, this is great, come on, go. And you've got to force yourself to stay. And it feels like a long time, but it's not actually that long. But the whole idea is, if you think of your baseline of stress, anxiety, angst, or whatever you want to call it, it's like up here, you're trying to bring it down a little bit. And that allows you a better opportunity to cope. Yeah, so it doesn't fix it. There's also a high expectation. People say, oh, it didn't do anything. Yeah, it probably did. But if you're 90% stressed, anxious, and you come down to 75, 75 is still very anxious. But a 15% drop is actually very valid. Now, with practice, your baseline won't be 90, it'll be 85. And it won't be 15%, you get better. So it actually becomes, and that's just from one technique. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's, it's like a skill. I'm going to run through it for you.
Okay.
And then when we run through it, I want to, I'll tell you a little bit more in detail what I do with people to kind of like show them where the anxiety is coming from, why it's actually very natural, and it's not something to use as evidence against your own self-esteem. Yeah, it's actually quite a logic to it. So you say to yourself, stop, and you just breathe in. Now you can do it for counts. You'll see a lot of different techniques will say breathe in for so much, out for so much. I don't like to do that. It's nothing wrong with it, but I find if you're really stressed, sometimes counting, if you're hyperventilating, you then worry about, I can't catch my breath, all right? So my advice is to everyone is breathe in for a bit, hold your breath for a second, breathe out longer than you breathed in.
Okay.
Whatever natural that is for you. So you might find some people, but over about 4 or 5, then actually their breathing goes deeper and it goes slower as well. So let me show you. So you say to yourself, stop. You practice this as well.
Okay.
After the second one, we try and become a bit more aware of our shoulders and arms and hands. If you're holding yourself like this, just let it go. And then you've got another 4. Two more. And the last one. Very good. And then you continue with whatever it was you were doing at the time.
Okay.
And that's the key. So you don't have to like kind of separate yourself. You could be in the butcher's, you could be at university, you could be at your job. And with a bit of practice, you can do this and no one has to know you're doing this. So I had a fellow who said, yeah, but he was an optician. He said, I can't do that in my job. And I said, did you realise I've just done it? And he said, no. I said, I did it on purpose to kind of show you that you can do it and your client doesn't have to know you're doing it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It takes a bit of practice. And it is literally just that, 6 breaths. And it's the easiest thing to crack on with. And then there are others as well. If you then find you need to do it again, start over. 30 seconds, start over. Sometimes a 3rd time. You might find if you really like this, 3rd time or 5th time might be the best one to actually just bring you down a bit. Just so you think, okay, cool, I think I'm a little bit more in the moment. I can probably do something else that might also help. And this is good for anxiety, it's good for anger, it's good for stress.